Hello everybody, welcome back to another video with Lim Reviews. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out the latest Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G that just landed here in Malaysia as well as Singapore. Now the good news here is that we finally got the global version because the Chinese version has been out in the market for almost 2 months now, and I've actually did a review about it quite some time back. So definitely very excited to see the global version finally available here. Now in today's video, we're going to be checking out what the Redmi Note 11 Pro is all about, what's its price, what are you going to get for it, and of course, whether it is worth your money to actually purchase the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. Now, before we do that, of course, if you're feeling happy and excited as well, don't forget to drop a like, sub to the channel because that will be super helpful. Thank you for that. Now let's begin. Alright, so first up, the first thing I want to talk about is actually in terms of the price. Now, price is very important for Redmi or even Xiaomi devices because people, when they go to buy a Xiaomi or Redmi device, they always look for the maximum value for their money. So in this case, the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G landed here in Malaysia for RM1199, and if you're in Singapore, that is Sing dollar 399, and if you're in other parts of the world, that is approximately equivalent to US $290. So it is still somewhat affordable and very close in terms of the pricing to the previous Redmi Note 10 Pro. Now bear in mind that for this money, you're going to be getting the 6+128GB version, but there is also a slightly higher spec 6+256GB of storage. So that's another spec that you can get. Total 2 specs. Alright, so now done with the price, let's actually check out the device itself. It does come in 3 different colors, but I got mine in this totally blacked out version, which actually looks quite nice. Now, bear in mind that this design here actually looks very identical to the China device that I actually still have here with me, but note that this is a very nice dark green, but the global version is the black one, yeah? So in terms of the back panel, it still comes with this very nice and smooth matte materials. And the good news here is that the matte panel on the back here does not attract fingerprints at all. Now, I did show in my previous videos that some phones, even though they come with a matte back, but it still captures fingerprints, but this one doesn't do that at all. So it does feel awesome to hold and touch. Now, if you move on to the sides here, notice that we do have quite flat sides all around, although it is not flat enough to actually allow the phone to stand on the table, so you can't do that neat trick. So in terms of the top here, you also do get the headphone jack. You do have stereo speakers as always. At the bottom, you have your Type-C port, and of course, you have a dual SIM card tray. Now, in terms of the weight, it is approximately 203 grams, so it is actually quite heavy because 200 grams, more than that, you will definitely feel the heft in your hands. But overall, I think it is a great design. Like I mentioned before, it feels great and it looks great, so that's that. Now, the second thing we're going to talk about here, of course, if we flip the device to the front, and that's all about the display. Now, in terms of the display, we do have a 6.67-inch 1080p Super AMOLED display that actually refreshes at 120 Hz. So it's very, very smooth. The touch sampling rate is in fact 360 Hz. So that is supposedly even more sensitive than the Samsung Galaxy S22 that just landed because it only has 240 Hz touch sampling rate. But these are all just numbers. Anyway, my point is it's actually a very good display. It is large and you get that very smooth scrolling throughout the entire display, and it also achieves a very high brightness levels of approximately 1200 nits. So if you are using the phone most of the time outdoors, you will not have to worry about not being able to see the display under the strong sun. So that's that. Overall, again, like I said, this is just going to be a quick look. So the next thing we're going to talk about here actually is in terms of the performance. Now, in the back here, the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G is powered by the Snapdragon 695. It does come with the 6GB of RAM, like I mentioned earlier on. It's a LPDDR4X RAM, and in terms of the storage, it's the 128GB, but that is actually UFS 2.2. So there's no fast RAM or fast storage here. Everything is quite basic, but overall, in terms of performance, you will be able to expect to see about a 10% increase in bump in performance compared to the previous Snapdragon 732 from the Redmi Note 10 Pro. So yes, that's in terms of the performance. Overall, on a day-to-day use, it should be sufficient for you. The Snapdragon 695 is the highest, I would say, at the moment for the Snapdragon 600 series. However, I did notice that when I was just scrolling through the device, launching apps here and there was a little bit of lags here and there. So I'm just hoping that this might be due to the lack of optimizations that could be solved in a future software update. Now, moving on to the cameras, note that we do have a triple camera setup at the back. This is being led by the 108 megapixel main sensor. You you also have an 8 megapixel ultra wide, and last but not least, you also have a 2 megapixel depth sensor. Now, if you just take a look at the sensor itself, you might be reminded of the Redmi Note 11s because they do look super identical, and I kind of suspect that they are actually the same sensors at the back. Now, I haven't really taken quite a lot of photos, but of course, this is just a first look. I will be sharing more of these photos in the full review, so stay tuned for that. Now moving on, let's talk a little bit about the battery that you do get in the back here, and that is a 5000 mAh battery, and it does support the 67 watt fast charge, which you can do so using the charger that came in the box. And according to Redmi, it does about 50% in just 15 minutes. Yeah, so it's quite quick. Not to say super fast, but definitely good enough for, you know, some quick charging here and there. Alright guys, so at the end of the day, is the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G actually worth your money? Well, based on my first impressions, I think that at a price of RM1199, Redmi could have done a little bit better by giving us a slightly more powerful processor. And the reason why I say that is because, like I said, this is only a 1-day-old phone, but I was already feeling a little bit of lag here and there when interacting with the system. Alright guys, so that's it for the quick look of the Redmi Note 11 Pro 5G. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. And yep, I hope to see all of you guys in the next one. Stay safe everybody. Bye!